quarantine look, your mustache?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever grown out any kind of facial hair. So yeah,
You're practicing for November or something?
yes. I can't do this. I can't do this and see people on a regular basis. So this is a one-time thing.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's funny. Okay. I'm with Pittsburgh Steelers tight end Zach Gentry. Zach, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So I noticed you're from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm a Texas girl, and it looks to be that you committed to UT in high school. So what was the shift? What made you decide to shift from UT in Austin, where it's warm and sunny, to Michigan, where it definitely snows a lot?
Yeah, well, I committed to Texas as a quarterback under Charlie Strong and offensive coordinator Sean Watson, who were one of my first offers when they were at Louisville. So I felt good with them, and I kind of knew they were on their way out, unfortunately. So didn't want to take a chance with the new staff, and I felt good about Texas because my grandpa was originally from Texas, and I had been to Texas a lot growing up. So it was all a good move, but I couldn't wait it out for the new staff.
Definitely. So I read football is a really big part of your family. Like you said, your grandpa was a coach. I read like 38 plus years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the culture like? Because I know at my home, football is a big part of it. And my dad played in the NFL. And so there isn't a conversation at the dinner table that doesn't talk about football. So what was that like growing up in that environment?
Yeah, probably very similar to yours. Growing up, there was, you were always talking about football no matter what. And my grandfather, I spent a lot of time around him growing up. He's one of my personal heroes. And so, even when I was away from my own house and at my grandfather's house, it was kind of the same thing. I was in the backyard playing football and running routes and throwing the ball and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely a lot of things in the Gentry family revolve around football.
Do you have any specific memories that like really stand out? Maybe a certain one that maybe breaking down tape? I don't know, like just something fun that y'all did together.
I mean, I probably can't pick anything out exactly. I mean, I have a lot of memory of the whole family getting together, whether it was a birthday or a holiday or any gathering. It was just everybody was outside playing football. All the aunts and uncles and all the cousins and everybody was getting a bunch of games going.
So you're all competitive?
Yeah, very.
Definitely keep score.
No doubt.
And I saw that you had a really great run at Michigan, going from, like you said, QB to tight end there. Do you have a favorite play that stands out to you at Michigan, or maybe it was your first touchdown catch? I don't know, something like that.
Well, yeah, there's so many memorable ones for me because I had such a good time there and such a good experience. Obviously, remember all the touchdowns, but there's one that stands out a little bit. I think about we were doing pretty well. We were on the road at Northwestern, a game we were supposed to win pretty big, and we got down early, like 21-0, and we came back, and with just probably 2 or 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we needed a big third down, and I caught a big seam and was able to get the first down and put us inside the 10-yard line to get the go-ahead touchdown. So that was one of the things that is always going to kind of stand out for me.
That's amazing. I love that story. I actually went to the University of Florida, and y'all played Florida at AT&T Stadium a couple of years back. Yeah. And I was there for that game, and I saw you had a really good game there too as well, and that was a super fun one. Not for me because we lost, but that was a good game.
We had kind of like a weird, I wouldn't say rivalry with Florida, but I think we played you guys 3 times in the 4 years that I was there. So, yeah, kind of weird, which is also funny because my last ever college game was against Florida, and I actually grew up a huge Florida fan. So
no kidding.
Yeah.
So describe your draft process and what that was like.
I mean, it was hectic, but at the same time, nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, there's a lot of people that try to predict what's going to happen here or there, and nobody really knows. I think there's about 2 to 3 people in every organization that really know what's going to happen. So yeah. It was hectic, but it was a lot of waiting around and just kind of hoping.
A lot of patience, probably developed that perseverance, character quality a bit.
No doubt.
Back to college just for a second. What made you declare early for the draft? Not really early. I know you had 1 extra year of eligibility, but What went into that decision?
I mean, there were a lot of things that went into that decision. I, talked to a lot of the Michigan coaches, and of course my future at the time agents and family, and so I just felt like I was ready, physically and mentally. I mean, I probably had a little bit more of a maturation process as a tight end goes, but I was, you know, feeling like I was, headed in the right trajectory. So I thought that, I'd be splitting hairs leaving a year later than leaving when I did.
That's really neat. So you had your first season, you just rounded up your first season in the NFL. You're obviously starting it your second one now. But how did that first touchdown catch feel? I know it was just preseason, but that's still a
Mhm.
big deal and I'm sure really exciting for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. Again, another thing I'll always remember. That was actually my first catch in general as a Pittsburgh Steeler. It was first game, first catch. So, um, yeah, it
Lots
was
of
just
work.
yeah, exactly. A lot of firsts that night. So it was yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hopefully, I'll get in the end zone a couple times this season.
Yes, for sure. That will be exciting. And I know that this season is already started off a lot different than last one, I'm sure, with Zoom meetings and online workouts. How are you adjusting to all of that?
I mean, I'm just fine. I mean, it's definitely bizarre not being there in person and going through OTAs like last year, and getting to physically see the guys and see your coaches and all that. But it's it is what it is. It's a job, and I've been back at home working out a lot, and we still get the virtual meetings in, so it's different. There's an adjustment period, but it is what it is.
Do you have any specific goals for the 2020 season? And what helps you to stay grounded and just to persevere through this process? Because I know that it is a grind, the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have any specific goals for this season other than, I obviously want to be the starting tight end. I want to contribute as much as I can. Um, I mean, it takes a lot to be able to, do this day in and day out. I know that it's a lot of people have the perception that NFL players are, they get paid millions and millions, and they just go play a game. But it's so much more than that. The daily grind and taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health. So I just kind of stay on top of all that stuff, stay on top of my body, and I always have a pretty positive outlook on everything.
Sounds like you have a really great support system as well to keep you grounded and encourage you. So
Oh yeah, no doubt. I grew up with an older brother.
keeps you in line. I have that same dynamic. I have two younger brothers and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You too.
All right. Bye.